July 2, 1947. The town of Roswell, New Mexico, settles into its routine as storm clouds gather in the sky. As the sun fades, ranchers brace for a rough night ahead. The wind howls, carrying with it an air of unease as flickers of lightning cut through the darkness. Unbeknownst to the locals, this was no ordinary storm. Something far stranger was brewing in the clouds above. At 8:15 p.m., something strange catches the eye of a rancher. Lights, moving fast, erratic, dart through the clouds. They shift, shimmer, and disappear just as quickly as they arrived. These were no stars, no planes. They moved in ways that defied explanation, leaving only questions in their wake. Inside Roswell Army Airfield, the radar screens flicker to life. An unidentified object, moving impossibly fast, is tracked cutting through the skies. Panic spreads among the operators. An object, and not just any object, something that shouldn't be there. They scramble for answers, but none come. Then, at 10:30 p.m., the desert sky is split by a sudden blinding flash. The object plummets from the heavens, crashing into the earth with a force that rattles the rancher's bones. The crash sent shockwaves across the quiet night, both literal and soon, much more profound. By 11:15 p.m., the rancher finally reaches the crash site. Scattered across the ground are fragments, metallic shards, twisted shapes, and symbols that seem unearthly. What lay before him was unlike anything he had ever seen. Not a plane, not a weather balloon. This was something else, something beyond. Midnight. The military is on the move. Convoys tear through the desert, rushing to secure the crash site before anyone else can get too close. They had to act fast. Whatever had fallen from the sky wasn't meant for civilian eyes. By 1:30 a.m., the military secures the site. Soldiers in gas masks and protective suits move through the debris, collecting fragments of the craft. Their movements are precise, cautious. They found more than just twisted metal. They were uncovering something far more unsettling, something alien. At 2:45 a.m., the military shifts focus. In the shadows of a makeshift tent, officials huddle, issuing orders. Documents are stamped, and decisions made to contain the truth. What had fallen in the desert needed to disappear. This was no longer just debris, it was classified. By 4 a.m., the situation turns even more surreal. Inside a sterile tent, the wreckage isn't the only thing being examined. Lying on cold metal tables, alien bodies. The beings were like nothing seen on Earth. And yet, there they were, examined by men who struggled to comprehend the magnitude of what they were handling. At dawn, 5:30 a.m., the military convoy departs. Trucks loaded with alien debris and bodies wind their way out of the desert, leaving behind nothing but scorched earth. The evidence was on its way to be hidden, miles away from the curious eyes of the public. A secret buried deep. By 7 a.m. on July 3rd, rumors of something extraordinary had already begun to spread. Outside Roswell Army Airfield, reporters gathered, hungry for answers. Officials kept their statements vague, fueling even more speculation. The public wanted the truth, but the military had other plans. Inside a dimly lit walls of a military briefing room, General Ramey convenes a meeting. On the table lie fragments of the wreckage, and the air is thick with tension. Not all were convinced of the need for secrecy, but the general made one thing clear. The public must never know what truly fell from the sky. Before the official story was set in motion, Major Jesse Marcel stood alone in the quiet of his office, staring down at the wreckage he had recovered. This was the truth. On the table were pieces of a mystery, unlike anything he had seen in all his years. He knew even then that the world would never fully grasp the gravity of what he had found. July 8, 1947. Major Jesse A. Marcel stands before the press at Fort Worth Army Airfield. In his hands, fragments of a weather balloon, a carefully crafted prop for the story they were told to sell. He holds the debris. But this is not the truth he remembers. Surrounded by flashing lights, he follows orders, but the real story remains hidden behind his eyes, a truth he cannot speak. Today, the world would be told a lie, a weather balloon. But deep inside, he knew. This wasn't what had fallen from the New Mexico sky.